and this is Nerdy BookBOOK Club, and today you are watching Nerdy BookBOOK Club Book Talk. And today we're going to talk about Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. With this book, I feel like I'm literally the last person to ever read it, ever. But once I did read it, I had a really easy time getting into it. She's been telling me for like 2 years to read this book, and I've been like, yeah, it's fine. I'll get to it. It'll happen.
I hate when that happens because I hate telling Mary that she's right. Yay!
So this is the first in the Throne of Glass series, and with the Empire of Storms coming out September 6th, I decided that it now would be a great time to start reading these. And leading up to that, we're going to do a book talk on each book that I read each month. And going along with that, we also get the chance to meet Sarah J. Maas in Austin with Book People on September 7th. We're gonna get our Empire Storm book signed, and we're gonna get to talk to her, and I think there's gonna be a panel too, so it's gonna be super awesome. So, what this book is about, for anybody who hasn't read it, it's about this girl named Shayna who happens to be an assassin, and she's kind of like a rock star in the assassin world. Everybody knows who she is. She got caught and sent to the salt mines called Indovir, and she got sent there as her punishment. It's kind of like the super duper bad place to go, like prison. And so she went there, and then she gets rescued from Indovir by the crown prince of the kingdom that they live in. And she has been chosen to be his champion in this competition of like thieves, assassins, to be the king's champion who is going to do his dirty work, basically. I gave this book like 5 out of 5 stars because, like I said, I couldn't put it down. So now this is going to be the part where I start spoiling things. So for anybody who hasn't read this book yet, you should do it. Please leave now so you don't get spoiled, because I would hate to spoil a book for you. So bye.
If you have not read this book, please leave now and read this book. You have been warned. Spoilers are ahead.
And I'm back! Hey people who have actually still read this book. Pretty much from the moment it started, I was like,
This chick is kind of cool.
I really like Shayna. I really love her contradictions. Like, in most books, it seems like the character heroine is either one or the other. She's sarcastic, she's prissy, she's girly, she's emotionally distant. But this one is full of contradictions. Like, she's this awesome, tough assassin that can kill you in like 2 seconds, and then she turns around and she wants to wear a pretty dress. I really loved her character. She is sarcastic, and I love sarcastic characters. I love them. Pretty much all of my favorite characters in movies and books are the sarcastic ones. When she goes to Rithford, she's like,
I don't really want to be here, but I don't want to be in prison.
I really like Kale.
By the way, I can't think of without picturing a cat, because Elizabeth's cat is named Kale, and she named him before I actually read this book. So now every time I hear the name or read the name Kale, I think of a white and black cat.
Dorian.
Dorian. I love him.
I love Dorian. I mean, I kind of want to marry him, and part of me hopes that Shayna doesn't end up with him, so in my mind, I can marry him. I'm not quite sure where I stand on the whole, do I ship Dorian and Shayna or Dorian and Kale? I'm just not sure right now. I kind of think that there's just gonna be a polyamorous relationship going on. It's fine. It's fine. One of my favorite scenes is actually when Shayna gets her period, and she is like sick, and Kale comes in and is just talking to her, and is like, yeah, I hate how the rebels died, and it's just awful. And she's like, go away. Just go away. He does not seem to understand that she's trying to tell him to leave, that she's sick, that she doesn't want him around right now. And she like pukes, and he's like, wow, you really are sick, aren't you? And she goes,
You think?
and he's like, what do you have, like a bug? And she goes, I am not that kind of sick. He doesn't understand. Like, you would think the captain of the guard would be a little more quick on the uptake, but he's not. He's like, she finally just has to tell him,
I'm on my period, dude. And he's like, Okay, I'm leaving.
And then of course Dorian comes in because this scene wouldn't be complete without some Dorian sass up in there.
Kane!
You know, there are several characters in books that I want to punch in the face. I want to punch this character in the face with a cleat.
I want to shove a cleat in his face and then leave it there. I hate him. I can't stand Kane. I can't stand him. Like,
The other character that I can't stand is the king. And I told my mom, I was like, I can't stand the king. Like, I hate him. And she goes, you're supposed to. Like, he gives me the creeps. Like, Kane just makes me angry. And I just want to throw him down a well with a cleat in his face.
Don't ask me where the cleat came from. I literally have no idea. But I just want to shove him down a well with a cleat in his face, with a little bit of water at the bottom so that he's not, like, drowning, but he's miserable.
I'm not a big fan of the characters who, like, do everything just so they can get a crown. Like, I know Dorian doesn't really want the crown, but he kind of does. It's kind of one of those things that
I don't want this crap. Can I just go do something else and, like, hang out with Kale and Selena? It's fine.
If he gets the crown, I feel like he's gonna do something good with it. Like Caltaine. He just wants the crown to like, say,
Oh, I'm the princess. You guys have to listen to me. And nobody can ever take Dorian away from me.
like, no. Get out. I don't like how she's all conniving and she obviously doesn't have any respect for anybody else because she made this deal with Duke Parrington to marry him, and she basically is doing whatever she can to break that contract. I also do really like Nehemia. I feel really bad because at one point I was really confused and I was like,
Wait, what? Is Nehemia the bad guy? No!
but she didn't turn out to be, so it's all great. And I really like the friendship that she and Selena have. I think it's something that Selena really needs. The thing that they have to go through to become the King's champion, I was reading it and I was like, I'm sorry, am I reading Hunger Games again? Like, who does this? The King is crazy. Who puts people through this for entertainment or enjoyment? Like, who does that? Presidents, no. The trials that they have to go through, I was like, jeez. Some of them weren't too terrible. The archery wasn't too awful. I mean, the poison one was kind of like, The one that I didn't like the most was the one where they had to climb the side of the castle. My fear of falling plus reading this, no. Just no. As soon as the first champion showed up dead, I was like, something bigger's going on here, my friends. I knew that Duke Parrington had something to do with it. I really thought it was cool that they brought in the first queen of Adarlan, Queen Elena. I really liked how they brought her in, and it was interesting to kind of see, and you kind of get a hint at Selena's history, which I personally really can't wait to figure out more of her history and her ancestry and figuring out where she fits in this whole thing. The relationship between Selena and Dorian, I really like. The two of them together is too much sass. Like, so much sass in one room. It's ridiculous. I know that they're not really together right now because I know she broke it off because she was being realistic because he's a prince, she's an assassin. I mean, of course, you know, granted, if ever there was a storybook pairing, it would be the prince and the assassin. Dorian wants somebody with a brain that he can actually have a conversation with about the things that he likes, that he's interested in. And Selena does fit those. She loves to read. I also really like the relationship between Selena and Kale. Obviously, these three people have been thrown together and spend a lot of time together. And so naturally, people are going to form attachments to the people that they spend the most time with. I'm waiting to see what happens. Kale understands the more fighter side of her. Like, he understands the toughness, the fighter, the skill of her being an assassin. He doesn't trust that side, but he does understand, like, the fighter side of her. While Dorian seems to understand and help develop the knowledgeable side of her. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, so to speak. And I think that's kind of cool that I don't know who I wanted her to end up with, if she ends up with either of them, because I know there's another guy that comes into play later in the books. They did spoil that for me. The end of this book was crazy. When she went up to face Cain, it made me very nervous, and I was on the edge of my seat, and I was like, what's gonna happen? Then the ghost zombie dead people showed up, and I'm like, what? I really liked how Nehemia came to her rescue, like the good BFF that she is. Queen Elena showed up and was like, oh hey, do you need some help here? And I was like, yes! I'm not happy about the king. This jerk, this nameless jerk of a king. I don't like that he's threatened everybody she cares about. He knows that Selena cares about them, and that's gonna be her weakness in his eyes, that he cares about something, and so he's going to use it. He's gonna exploit it. I kind of am excited to see how she is as Ardalin's assassin. And that was my book talk for Throne of Glass. Let me know what some of your favorite parts were in the comments below. Tune in next month for our Gear Up for Empire of Storms book talk with Crown of Midnight. I'm Shayna, and this has been Nerdy BookBOOK Club, and I will see you next time. Bye! This one, Illuminate. It's just eating my soul right now.
Oh my god, finally. Okay, the two main characters of this book have not seen each other since like a year ago, and now they're finally like seeing each other in person, and it's like look how beautiful this is. Like he made this. Look at it. 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 Oh god, she's freaking out. Look at it. Look at it. It's her face, but it's her name. Look at it. It's so pretty. I love this book so much. It's so pretty.
You will like it. Okay, bye.